Hello, guys, and welcome back. It's time to get into the grand finals. It's time for the matchup we have been waiting for. It's down to our top two teams, and my name is Daks.
My name is Vyminal.
And we are going to be bringing you guys the action here in the Blitz series, inaugural one here, courtesy, of course, of Endgame Gear, Roadbox Philippines, as well as Valorant PH. And this is going to be a pretty spicy one here, Mr. Vim. CTNX versus Bren Esports in the best of three in the grand finals.
Yeah, I mean, napakaganda ng pinakita ng CTNX in the a bit of a taglish action coming in here.
Are we going this way?
No, I'm just really saying it as I feel it. I mean, CTNX they did really well against a very formidable team such as Samurais, and they are picking the maps as of this moment. Pero this is the debut of Bren Esports. As we see, the first map is Split.
Yeah, Split can be pretty interesting. And CTNX a while ago, as you said, proving to be a force to be reckoned with, but more so on the attack rather than the defense. So that might be somewhere the side of Bren Esports might be able to just work on. For now, though, they will pick up Bind instead. Something they are renowned to be known to, be good at. They have made that a classic map. Some people can say, okay, Split is their best map of them all and how they play. And it seems like our final map pick will be Haven. So Splits, Bind, Haven. Interesting picks here. Interesting that CTNX actually picks up Split. I've seen them play it before to a pretty solid degree, but at the same time, they're more attack focused from what they've proven so far in their tournament run. And going into a defense-sided map like Split might be a little hard. And Bren Esports getting that Split by the 1-2 punch. And that is a map pick selection that I feel like Bren Esports will be able to work with and be happy with.
Absolutely. A bit of a selfie happening here right outside the gift shop. But I'd like to note that it's kind of interesting that we're not seeing Ascent.
Yeah, we don't usually see Ascent too much in these best of three scenarios compared to, well, the more tried and tested Haven as well as Bind and, of course, Splits to start things off. And ooh, look at that! We got a little bit of a new thing up on top. I'm really proud, of course, of our prod team really stepping it up. Also, having that info on those guns if need be. But seems like the Bren Esports going to be on the defense first. CTNX on the attack. And who's on what here, Mr. Vim?
Who is on what indeed? But for the side of CTNX Tricks, we have him on the Jet, Olsen on the Cypher, and we also have a Raze, Omen, and Sage. A bit of a standard meta composition coming in here from both sides. Of course, Bren on that breach.
And Jesse Vasto losing his life. He's on that stage right now. Dispenser, though, up on top on the Raze. And this is going to be all about Bren Esports playing this composition to the best degree. What happened, though? That Boombot went even faster down the ramp. Chased after Tricks, got that takedown. Bren Esports with a lot of CC right now. They are going to have so many ways to deal with CTNX in any single push they want to do.
Absolutely, and this is the point that I was trying to get across previously in the previous match that we saw Bren. They're just not off to a slow start anymore. No holds barred here as Dispenser takes down Olsen to seal off the first round, just like that.
Yeah, it's a hot start indeed, and you can see that goes to an 105 per headshot. Really going to show if you don't have that armor, you are going to go down in one bullet. So it feels like, though, for Bren Esports, looking at that composition there, Mr. Vim, Breach, Cypher, Raze, Sage. That is a lot of things to deal with, and never you are stuck.
Definitely a lot of CC coming into play. Perhaps playing off the fact that they are starting off defense, would arguably on offense also a very strong lineup. So we see both very versatile compositions coming in from both teams here. Let's see as we go into round number 2.
Yeah, it's all about how they're going to use their utility, especially between the Breach and the Raze. But Dispenser already lining things up. And the thing about playing that Raze is you have to be good at getting those abilities to work in your favor. For now, though, that Pain Shell's going for the zone. Ching the God in the meantime with that Breach. Solo holding on to B, which is a little bit different from what we see so far from Bren Esports. And it hasn't worked out for them in their run. They lose the Breach. This opens things up onto the site, forcing the rotation and making middle an easier place to take here.
I really like what Jesse Vash is doing here. He's not really going for that very typical wall down, mid lane. Now we see him with a bit of a cheeky wall play coming up B Heaven as CTNX appears to be rotating through vents to go for that execute onto a Heaven.
It has to be based on their composition. Since they have the Cypher here onto a site, they know that they will have so many ways to put a stop to whatever push is happening. That is going to be the tripwire, though. Going to get taken down perhaps. It's going to be a push right now from CTNX clustering on in. Cypher Cage, though, able to get the incel, and it's going to be a bum rush to remember. Dubstep cannot hold, does not have the biggest gun in this game, but Borkum is by the site right now. Spectre in hand, can be Seri in closer quarters.
Especially coming into the second round here.
Goodbye already, 1 and 2. Borkum, he says, here and there, I am here. Jesse Bass with the Bucky as well. Time ticking right now. Trix might be able to get a few clutches here and there, but can he actually get the angle on the Sage? He's going for it, going for the push, wants to go for the duel, but no, Bash is still one with the Sage, one to watch out for, and that is going to be enough for Bren Esports to get the 2-0 lead.
I mean, at that point, perhaps keeping distance would have been the better play, as Jesse Vash was on that Bucky. Arguably could have worked out if those shots have landed. Very valiant effort coming into the second round by CTNX. But of course, this next one is even more important, as it is the first full buy round for the side of CTNX.
Yeah, and CTNX running that double duelist composition. In the meantime, Bren Esports with more control, with some initiation there with the breach. And it feels like, though, for CTNX, they're gearing up to be explosive on this offense, but it's just not working out for them whatsoever. They're just getting stifled no matter what with the composition Bren Esports is running. And as we see from before, they are off the hot start, and they're doing the same thing, zoning this map out, making sure that they are dividing, conquering, and taking the slots that they want. But it seems like, though, for CTNX, Allison, he gets one on that Cypher, and that will be another rotate forced out from Bren Esports.
I really like how they're playing it so far, as Courtesy takes down Borkum. It's just, they're not getting themselves boxed in. However, Dubstep with that brilliant defensive play, getting a 2K, very quick succession.
But Olison is also doing one better onto that Cypher. And that's a one-way right there. Interesting spot there from Dubstep. You guys can check that one out and maybe use it in your ladder games. But for now, the ladder has finally reached the side of CTNX. All they need to do is climb it here. Bren Esports, though, by the screens. Jesse Bash, will he be retrieving a gun, taking this high ground, or maybe, just maybe, finding an exit frag along the way? He has a chance, though. Allison is quite low. 2 on site. If he can get the duel onto the Cypher, there is going to be an easier time for him. And he's going to be going for it. Bren Esports is one team that knows no fear. They will decide that they can try things out. Walking on forward, camera broken. Will we see the peak already? That's going to be the Omen. And Haps too. This man is a clutch man himself. CTNX finally getting one back. And we are in for a game.
Yep, I really like how they play that post-plant situation. That Cypher is just tucked in away on A ramp with that camera maintaining visibility of Cross underneath Heaven. And none of them really had to peek because the camera did the work for them. So that was perfectly played out and resulting in their first round win coming into the first match of our grand finals.
I love how they play that one out indeed with that Cypher, making sure that he is safe and sound. Gonna be having a tough time to go for the duel, so the camera is all he needs with 2 still on site. But here we go again, CTNX. Looking for the setup, going for the smoke onto the vents. Interesting enough, though, that Bren Esports is still going for the vents defense. Hasn't been too popular nowadays into the meta. For now, though, they're really clustering on in middle, and it's a garage take perhaps here from CTNX.
I like the variation coming in here, sort of a B main aggression, although they could rotate off as the spike is in Ramen, just chilling there.
Chilling like a villain, but here we go again. Double peek there in the middle. And maybe, just maybe, this is going to be Jet seeing an angle here, but judges are in the hands of, well, that breach, and that is going to be a walled up as well. Hapstu, though, will make it to the other side, get that takedown. Dispenser in the meantime, getting the refrag on, and with the showstopper, he misses the person by the wall. Gonna get slowed already, looking for a target, doesn't get it. Unfortunate chain events here for Bren Esports, but maybe, just maybe, Ching God can surprise with a flashpoint into the shotgun gameplay. A spike is planted. Trixo has gotten rid of Dispenser already, taking control of Heaven here. CTNX getting the aggro that they need. 2v3 right now, and Bren Esports trying to reel on back, but that Cypher with a backstab doesn't work because Dubstep is on it yet again.
Yeah, Dubstep just getting multi-kill on multi-kill. Almost finds a third, just dinks that raise over there.
And Dubstep with the live care! What the hell was that? Curtsy though up on top. Barkham will get the refrag on. And CTNX forced to play Protect the Rays because of the paranoia. Bren Esports will line up with a setup and push the things through. Barkham again flexing his power. 3-1 right now here for Bren Esports.
That was a bit too close for comfort, however. Almost clutching it out. Courtesy just missing by a hair as Borkham was out at 1 HP.
And
still,
this is
very, very good effort coming in from both teams.
indeed. It just feels like there's always a contest here from CTNX, and it does feel like that they're playing the aggro in a good way. But unfortunately, Bren Esports able to adjust, able to read a few plays here and there, and that is going to be how it works yet again. Don't forget, guys, it's a best of 3, 2 to win, as you can see there into the overlay itself with those quick little bars looking pretty snazzy to say the least. Here at Valorant PH, we just try to get better and better with everything we can give to the community, and the Blitz series is a fast way to basically give you guys some more tournaments along the way. But Dispenser already making this a fast entry. He gets the first one on the board, impacting the whole pace of this game. Slow Orb also catching out the Jet there, but it seems like though for Bren Esports, they're set up to contest mid.
I really like how they're contesting mid. You know, again, just holding on to that barrier or just letting go of it at the right time. As Dispenser does a lot of work just to match this tandem. Look at this beautiful aggressive defense over at mid lane.
And it feels like it's just a drum set looking to make some music, as Rex right now gonna be able to at least pierce a hole on one of them. Rex gonna be backing on the way, will be meeting Ching the God there, but Dubstep with that shotgun. Interesting guns here from Bren Esports, in all honesty. Where did he get
a rifle?
Where did he get that Bucky? Out of nowhere. I guess, hey, look at it. The Dubstep on that Cypher. There's a hat. Maybe he can pull a rabbit, he can pull a gun. That should be another ultimate Cypher has. It's like, get intel or gun. It's a slot machine.
A bag of tricks. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And his bag of tricks is really showing off because he's not just on the operator jet. He's looking to play something a little different. And it really feels like here for Bren Esports that these guys have been playing together before this roster even became official. And I'd like to work on that a little bit more because we have that insider knowledge, Mr. Vim, aka people on our friends list. We can see what's going on. We know what's going on, and I love it. Perks of being a caster, but it seems like though it smokes all around. One there from Bren and one from CTNX. They're covering middle right now and making sure no one is pushing for the time being.
Now, this is nighttime for CTNX to try and make a play as they do have 5 ultimates on the board.
Yeah, they can blow things up to Kingdom Come. They can make an impact. And Trix is the one who gets the battery of Tricks in his favor. Dubstep going to be going on down. Borkham, though, holding the line here on A site. Rotation in order already for the A take. But for now, it's still a contest into the middle. Dispenser right now keeping an eye out on the rounds. Trix, though, still with the operator. And maybe, just maybe, he can get the pixel-perfect shot. Equal from Dispenser. Always scary. Reaction time is just so quick here from the side of Bren Esports. And they tie things up already. It's a narrow chokehold here onto the Rams, courtesy of the Rays. But that's a res. Rex bringing Trix back to life.
I like the restraint coming in from this push here from CTNX. You know, despite getting a pick, they don't come pouring onto the site. They give due respect to the titans of the scene, Bren Esports.
But Dispenser and Borkham gonna be going on down there for our side of Bren Esports, but Dispenser actually getting one back instead. Habs and Ollison gonna be getting those kills. Trick Stager close. And into the smoke, into the shorty. That is the SNS connection we are looking for from a Jet with an operator. It really feels like that is just the Wardell Classic, to say the least. Really proven to be part of the meta by this point. Trix going for his best impression. But back to my point, Mr. Vim, you know, we get that insider knowledge with the friends list. And in all honesty, the biggest question for Bren Esports was how the agents would work. But we were able to get like a glimpse of it from their career profiles and all the like. And Ching the God, he's been playing with the Bren boys for quite a while. Dubstep also a little low-key on that side. So they have been experimenting a lot in the ladder, climbing with each other and making it to the highest echelons into the region. So it's time for them to prove it though on a tournament scene, as Dubstep misses the first shot, but Borkham is there. Tricks in the meantime gonna get rid of the off guard immediately, and Curtsy is there as well. CTNX, who they don't need to believe their eyes when 10 million Fireflies and 10 million players on their side are pushing on to A. It's time for the post plants, as this is gonna be the neural theft to force Bren Esports away from the sites.
It's like when you least expected, one of Bren Esports agents are just holding a Bucky. I kind of like what I'm seeing here. But speaking of respect, Mr. Daks, it's just, you don't want to be that team that gives too much respect on the other end. And I really, really like what CTNX is displaying so far.
Ooh, Dispenser though catching out Tricks, ankle breaking him to the best degree. Rex in the meantime though with a takedown off the Vash. And I gotta say for CTNX, this is a squad that is spunky. It really feels like this is a team that loves to brawl against anyone and everyone. We saw it a while ago into the Valorant Rising tournament against the likes of Chimera. We saw it a while ago in the semifinals themselves against Samurais. And they will always put up a fight no matter what. That is the CTNX guarantee. And if you look at that team, Mr. Bim, that's actually an acronym, but I don't really think we can.
Yeah, we can't really say it on during broadcast.
Shorthand rather. It's not an acronym. It's a shorthand for something else.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But again, it's just
it more spicy. The X makes it more spicy.
Oasis Gaming just making a mark here in the local Valorant scene. With Chimera and of course CTNX.
I like it. There's an org to support these players, sister teams, having regular scrims and all alike, having a regular base to work with. So it goes to show that for CTNX, they have a lot to prove with their experience right now working together with a lot of the community. But unfortunately for Tricks, he misses those. Bren Esports pushing on forward, but his eco dubs up right now though with the Sheriff. I do like that the Cypher right now is on B side. Instead, that's the Omen. Don't make his noise, and Habs too will get that takedown. Borkum up above still. And for Bren Esports, they're playing post-plant instead.
Absolutely. I think at this point, they're going to go for sort of exit frags, unless they will try to go for it. They have been absolutely relentless so far. But if CTNX manages to do a successful post-plant, the scoreboard will be 4-4. Borkum. It just doesn't matter what kind of gun he uses, but, look at that crosshair placement. Yeah.
Close enough to scream 4 and really hit the heads there with the frenzy. But unfortunately, the bigger brothers, the bigger guns come on through the operator as well as those rifles, making a difference. And CTNX has equalized. Now, this is where Bren Esports might be looking at themselves in the mirror because they're on the defense. They do have a CC-oriented composition, and they do want to get these rounds done and dusted to have a good score line going into the second half. And this is where many of the people who are at least questioning the roster moves right now can see a test for them. Because Bren Esports, as we said, new roster, new roles. How will they adjust here, Vim?
Yeah, I think at this point, Jesse Vash on the stage, arguably his comfort pick as well as Dispenser on that main duelist role. But we've seen quite a bit of adjustments coming into play as arguably Dubstep and Ching the God also favored duelists, I believe, in the past. So definitely a test for their new roster, but I believe they are all truly capable of making it work, of course. With CTNX just playing it, playing their hearts out. We've seen from the previous game against Samurais as well.
When I saw the roster, first and foremost, I thought, hey, these guys can play 4 duelists, 1 Sage, and make it work. But here we go again. Dispenser actually catching at Habs. The counter lurk has been taken down. And Bren Esports right now with a 1-man advantage. Pressure though still being applied. Maybe onto A site. No, they won't at all. So this confirms it's B. They run on it to Ching the God, but no courtesy. We'll be able to get the courtesy onto 2. Dubstep though with the 1-2 step. He gets rid of Tricks in the up battle, and he's trying to aim between the legs, but Rex will be able to catch him out instead with the shots. And now it is high ground here for Bren Esports, but Spike being planted by CTNX.
Now, will high ground advantage come into play here as Rex just a very timely resurrection coming onto Tricks right there, making it the 3v1 situation.
And oh no, Dispenser is all alone. Will he go for the save? Will he go for the rotate there onto the defender side? Seems like though it's time to get the hell out of here. And well, CTNX, the first ever team to basically take a lead against Bren Esports. You got your Bren lang malakas, you got your CTNX lang malakas in the chat. And as we gotta say, guys, in the comments, anywhere you're watching, tell us which team you are rooting for. Don't forget, we still got 3 mouse pads and 3 bungees to go away, courtesy of Endgame gear. And this is, of course, your inaugural Blitz series. The best of 3 right now between our 2 teams, Bren Esports and CTNX. CTNX now has taken the lead away. And this is big because they're on the attack. We talked about them being an attack-favored team. And here on a map that's very defense-sided, well, Bren Esports, they need to get a better scoreline than this.
Absolutely. And, here, it's so powerful when you get the momentum as the attacker side, as you previously mentioned. So this is setting them up for a very good second half here. Double operator setup coming in for CTNX on offense. You don't typically see this sort of loadout, but I am curious to see, how they're going to make it work as Jesse Vash opts to go for that Bucky once more.
Okay, Bucky game strong. And I personally have loved the Bucky for quite a while already. That right click is just so scary out of nowhere. And here on Split, you can actually contest the downstairs with the Bucky in the middle. And of course, left click, the more of the shots when they're up close. So the Bucky is a really, really good gun in that specific setup on that agent with the Sage, with those slows and everything. And it's very, very cost efficient. 900 credits for some kills. I will take that and more. For that though, CTNX is playing it a little slower here, Vim. And what is up with this?
Yeah, I believe they're trying to play for picks here, as they do have a double operator loadout. And you can't really go all in really fast with a loadout such as that. So it looks like Cypher is on the lurk over here at mid with a pretty much heavy stack over at A. Curiously enough, there's a very light defensive stack as Dispenser. The trigger discipline is real.
Yeah, he does go for the lineup yet again, but Curtsy gets the shot in time. And speaking of Curtsy, this man has been pretty clutch so far here for CTNX, but no Borkum will get him and his showstopper away from this game. Hapsu though trying to go for a plant here, and now gonna get rolling thundered here by Ching the God. And this is just way too easy, but never mind. Hapsu, even though he is dazed, it's like you're drunk with not just alcohol, you're drunk with power there. Hapsu gets the shot no matter what, but it's Tricks versus the world. He catches out Borkum. Now Brittany starts.
God!
Never mind, time is not on the side of Jesse Bash, because Tricks will be able to bring out his own kind of trick. Bladestorm gets to. And I just want to mention this here, Mr. Vim. CTNX, the double duelist, has been their style. You see, it's either Tricks or Curtsy that plays it clutch for the team. And when one is kind of lacking, you can see CTNX suffer. But when they are both on high cylinders right there. Yeah, when they're completely on points, that is where CTNX can shine, because they rely on that entry, they rely on the impact frags, and when they are able to do so, that is when they can set up to the best degree.
And really, in a team like that, when you have a couple of playmakers, when the rest of the team can support the playmakers just as well, and that's when they can truly shine. I think that's what we're seeing so far from CTNX. But 4 ultimates on the board here for the side of Bren Esports. They could make things happen despite this being an eco round.
Yeah, it can be Bren Esports able to get that first kill, and I think they need to make that adjustment. Not only did they need to get the entry, but they need to get rid of one of the duelists, no matter what, at the start. Because if both are still alive, there is a high chance CTNX can do something about it. And for now, Bren Esports, they're looking pretty shaky. They were down by 2. They need to get these 2 rounds right now to make sure that they will have at least an even setup onto the second half. But for now, I gotta say CTNX has a really good advantage no matter what. If it becomes 6-6, I can see them prosper in a way, unless Bren Esports knows some amazing executes, to say the least. Because we expected Bren Esports to make this around a 9-3, 8-4 scoreline, but it's not happening so far.
Absolutely. Just goes to show that a lot of our grassroots level teams are really upping their game. But speaking of stepping up, Dispenser is doing it for Bren Esports. Double kill right off the bat.
What a shutdown immediately.
Make that 3.
Okay.
Make that 3.
Okay, we always make these Dispenser puns. And right now, he's like a vending machine for explosives. I really feel like he should set up between, the period of Christmas and New Year's, just blow things up to Kingdom Come as Jesse Vash gets blown up there by Tricks. But overall, inside the Cloudburst, it's just a last stand that is not going to work out. Ching the God will go down. Free operator here for the side of Bren Esports. But back to Dispenser. As I said, this man can just suddenly show up out of nowhere, and he is showing up everywhere. 18 kills, 6 deaths, 3-to-1 a ratio there. And he's really picking up the slack that Bren Esports is kind of faltering in right now. Ching the God struggling to play that breach, and I personally am not a fan of the breach B. It works on paper, but it's just so easy to kind of counter, especially if you have an op on the other side.
I mean, I think the breach will definitely shine coming in here in the second half once they are on offense, but a very good point, Mr. Daks. But I'd like to point out that on the scoreboard, there's a very huge discrepancy. Spencer, 18 frags on the board with the rest of the team sort of trailing. And this is not the scoreline that you would want to see ever. Like when you're playing a tactical shooter, right?
You want to have all of your team firing on all cylinders, and it can't just be Dispenser doing everything, because when he gets caught like that, then CTNX is going to have the advantage here. At the very least, though, Courtesy did go down first, so 1 out of 2 job done here for Bren Esports already. But this is the last round of this half. There is the From the Shadows, there's the Res, and there's a Neural Theft. And I think the win con here for Bren Esports is to secure the corpse of Dispenser and bring it back to life.
Absolutely. I think that is definitely the play. They still do have time, as the spike has not been planted yet. So we will see if they try to go for that res.
It's hard,
but I think, I think CTNX is sort of anticipating that.
Okay, Ching the God goes down first. Alacinto, Wolfbolt and Hand of Dubstep. Borkham going to be able to get on the board. And tactically, this is a really good idea for CTNX. And this man is giving us a Mortal show in all honesty. TSM meet Tricks. Tricks meet TSM. Sign this man already. 6-5 though our scoreline. Jesse Bash gets the res. And it's up to the clutch. He has to hit those Vim. He has to make sure that he will survive, but Dubstep is the op god for a reason. He has gotten that crown for years and years already. And aside the swap, at least Bren Esports is able to salvage that half.
Definitely a scary sight to see Dubstep on the operator. Long line of history coming in right there, but very impressive half shown by CTNX thus far. A 6-6. On offense, on a map like Split, is something to be happy about, definitely.
Advantage is in their favor. And don't forget, guys, we are live on both Facebook and Twitch. If you have any problems in one, check out the other. And if you need clips in one, then you can do it in the other as well. Whatever you're comfortable with, we just want to make sure that Valorant PH can provide you whatever viewing experience that you like. And we really appreciate all your support here in our first ever Blitz series. And we're looking to do even more with so many different people. But for now, Courtesy is by the little bit of the top shelf here, looking to keep an eye out. Very, very easy for the Raze and the Sage to hold this, especially with a 1-2 punch of a slow orb and a paint shell. But I do believe that they have the barrier orb. Yes, they do set it up onto heaven. And we're seeing a lot more further defenses here from both sides.
I'd just like to point out here, as Jesse Vash tries to get info on that wall, that CTNX, I've been following the team for quite some time, and they've been working really, really hard on trying to up their game, be it in scrims or just team training or ladder climbing. It's just, they've been playing together quite a lot, and I think the results speak for themselves here.
Yeah, but, training is one thing, tournaments are the other, and I'm always a believer of when it ain't broke, don't fix it. And for Bren Esports, they decide to fix it in a way. And they are looking to prove that this roster is worth the investment and worth the change. Dispenser, though, already pushing on forward. We'll find out if this is going to work out for them. That's still all about the Cypher Cage, though, getting in the way. And Courtesy making it rain some shrapnel with those satchels along the way. High ground, though, taken by Dubstep, but he'll get caught by Courtesy. CTNX already with the initiation, and Jesse Bash gets one back. But Olsen and Tricks with the lineup, with those ticks, and it's Borkham versus the world. We'll see if it's gonna be enough. He tries to throw the dark cover, but he can only cover somewhere else, not himself. Takedowns here for CTNX, and they will get the tempo in this half.
Beautiful retake there coming in from CTNX. And this is something that we definitely was not expecting to see. The second time that CTNX has taken the lead over Bren Esports, but test of strength for both teams here. CTNX has been preparing for this tournament for quite some time as well.
I also want to commend CTNX for having that fortitude to really muster up against Bren Esports. You look at the Bren Esports roster, you say, okay, I kind of don't want to, get into this kind of setup, get in this kind of tournament. It's a little too hard, but no, CTNX is already proving that they are not just here to play against Bren Esports. They are here to beat them because they are getting a complete mid-control so far. Guns are in the favor, of course, of CTNX, and Bren Esports is just looking for a few kills to kind of equalize the economy. But besides that, that's pretty much it. It's Bren Esports already down by 3.
Absolutely. And you see that Marshall just so powerful coming into the post pistol round. I really think it's sort of the best gun you can have next to the Spectre right there. The fact that it's 1,000 credits in one tap to the body without armor, just so strong.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy way to make sure that you secure a round like this. And it really just goes to show here for CTNX, they're playing the economy really well, but Curtsy caught mid-transition. Jesse Vash, scary with that frenzy. Glitch Pop and all the like, looking for a little bit more of a glitch in the system, but it seems like the camera is working really well. And for now, Bren Esports is down by 3 people.
Yep. This might not be a round for Jesse Vash. He doesn't even have enough bullets to kill 4 agents for the frenzy. I think that is the sort of the downside if you go for a frenzy on the post pistol round or like on a save round. You don't really have enough bullets to clutch it out instead of like a ghost or a sheriff, for example. You know.
I really feel like you can even clutch it out better with a classic. Like, the frenzy is a good way to secure a kill or 2. It's like the stinger. You can get a kill, you can get 2, maybe even 3, but you'll have that parts of your life where like, okay, I'm actually out of bullets. And when you're out of bullets, you don't see that too often, but then when that happens, you're just pretty much dead. But anyway, rifles abound here for the side of Bren Esports. No operators, interesting enough. Here we go again with Tricks with that 3rd round operator. Oh, a while ago though, in the semifinals, it was Curtsy, if I remember correctly. But this, CTNX likes to play this early op, and if they aren't punished with it, this is where they can really snowball away.
Absolutely. And I really like the sort of ballsy play coming into the B main aggression there from Tricks. He's not afraid to...
Not afraid of what? Not afraid of anything.
Absolutely.
Apparently, Bren Esports, though, going to be trying to, at the very least, get that middle wall, though, going to be set up there by the Sage. And Curtsy has to back on out. This is what I want to see, though, from Ching the God. He hasn't really had the best game. And if he's able to make space here for Bren Esports, that's the first step of making this breach pick work.
I think it's definitely the job of the initiator coming into play here. Sort of rotations abound as they're trying to get a pick before committing onto the site, but Rex just takes down Borkum. That is very big for them.
And Rex, he is just looking to be a dinosaur rampaging here on A side. He's a mountain. You know, dinosaurs, they become fossils, right? They became fossils, then they get covered by the mountain. So maybe, just maybe. it goes full circle, because I'm like a boulder, I'm a mountain, I don't even know where this is going. But for now, Rex is looking scary. And if I was watching Jurassic Park and I see Rex's face instead, I think I'll be even more scared of that T-Rex there. But all of a sudden, gonna catch out the Spencer. Pretty much a long-range battle, and Jesse Vash will win it out, but time is not on the side of Bren Esports, and with the side of CTNX coming on closer, Tricks decides to play Assassin's Creed instead, drops on down onto Jesse Vash, and a nice scoreline here. CTNX is up by 3.
Nice.
Indeed.
Just had to say that.
Of course.
But yeah, it looks like CTNX is starting to run away with it here. This is very, very interesting outcome as they are the underdog in this matchup. And could we see a potential upset here, Mr. Daks? This is something that I was not expecting at all. And I think at this point, CTNX just has to keep up whatever they're doing because it's working.
Okay, you know, I never got to ask you a while ago because we got straight into the game. But any predictions? I mean, I was going to say Bren 2-0, especially since this is a new lineup. But CTNX is proving to be one for the books. Nice. And we have seen teams, you know, take a map before from the 5 roster. Will it be the same case, or will they actually be losing a match here?
Could this be a first for the local Valorant scene? I was predicting a 2-0 in favor of Bren as well, but CTNX seems to be hell-bent on proving us wrong, Mr. Daks.
I like it. I like it a lot. And this is always the test. This is always why you want to play against the titans of the scene, no matter what. It's not going to be easy, but when you do it, it is going to be oh so worth it. But that's CTNX with 3 so far. And they're proving that this is a map pick for them for a reason. This is them looking to enjoy what this is all about. Trickster, in the meantime, taking care of Jesse Vash, but Dubstep gets 2 on the board yet again. Finally, Dubstep getting the wake-up call that he needs. And while people contested that Split could have been the best map for the 5 roster, with a whole new look and new agent picks, then it might be a little more shaky here on a map like this.
Yeah, it could definitely be a bit of a change of pace, especially against a new team that we are still mostly unaware of. CTNX, very new team themselves.
Yeah, CTNX, they have been proving themselves, though, through so many community events and working together as one to get even better. Of course, stalwarts of the show have to be Tricks as well as Curtsy. They either one of the two doing something for every single game. Dubstep, though, creeping on forward. He might be able to get the plant in time. Oh, I think he's a little too late here, Vim. It might be a split second too late. Yes, that's
Split
it.
second too late indeed.
Unfortunate. And the swing comes, Haps. He has shown clutch a while ago in the semis. He will get that wrap up as Bren is like, okay, unfortunate. They're down by 4, and this is a first. Will we see Bren Esports actually lose a map, or maybe even lose a match here? They got picked up by an amazing org, but they need to get those results. They need to show that this is a worthwhile investment, and you have your pedigree, but does it work? That's the question.
That's the thing, yeah. Ching the God sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard there. Definitely some adjustments need to come into play. But again, still very doable. 6-10 in the score line. Anything can still happen here, as 3 ultimates are online for the side of Bren Esports. But it's just that CTNX is looking very comfortable with a map like Split.
Yeah, slow orb though, gonna get thrown on out. Dubstep though in the meantime. I mean, in the middle of all of that, and Jesse Bash still with his operator, always wants to see. And he's proven to be the best op in the Philippine scene. No matter what, Dubstep might be able to contest, but it will be more of a shooting gallery between these two players rather than anything else. Tricks though, he's also one looking to get in the books. He catches out Bash right there from the tower.
Oh my God, what a shot.
God is taken by the tower of Tricks. Every single time he gets a shot on, you can feel the pain of Bren Esports winching every single time.
Yeah, actually, this is my first time seeing Tricks on that jet, and he's just making it work. This guy's doing really amazing work so far, but it's going to be Dispenser and Dubstep on that post-plant defense as he gets taken down by Courtesy.
And Courtesy and Allison, the cleanup is there. The Cyphers look at each other, and that is going to be enough takedowns for CTNX to get a 5-round lead. What is going on here, Vim? I really feel that this breach pick isn't working whatsoever here for Bren.
Perhaps this might have been a team comp taken from the playbook of 5 itself, right? They've been proven to be successful multiple times against international teams as well with a breach pick on Split, but they can't seem to replicate that success thus far.
Yeah, it's some unfortunate. The flexibility there might be lost in translation. And Bren Esports, they're gonna need a little more time to gel, because I really look at Ching the God's agent pool, and it's mostly duelists, right? It's mostly those duelists. He might have practiced this in a few scrims here and there, but it's still very different to do it on stream, on a tournament, and look for a championship as well. So for Bren Esports, they need to pick up the slack as a team. It just can't be the Dispenser show. It just can't be the Bash show. It has to be every single person doing something, and it has to be these new pickups proving themselves to be worthy of this roster. On paper, preferentially, right? They have history, but history is only the past, and this is the present.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, you know, they're all mostly Radiant players. I believe their entire lineup is that of Radiant ranks, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it's going to be easy wins from here on, right?
Yeah. Ladder is a completely different beast when you see something different here. And CTNX with his double duelist, always impressive. And something to note also for CTNX, they aren't really having a hard carry. They have good segregation on their kills. And this is what we were talking about a lot, Mr. Bim. As okay, Rex spots out Bash. This is just a lot of homework also for CTNX. They know that Bren Esports like to make plays like this, and they are taking angles that can surprise. Rex has gotten 3 on the fence. You don't see that too often. Tricks in the meantime also getting another takedown. And what has been the Empire of Bren already tumbling on down. Speaking of the tumble though, Dubs gets one, but no Courtesy is there. And CTNX is using the tools and the plays that Bren Esports like to do against them. Match point here for CTNX.
Yeah, it appears that they are aware of some tactics here and there, sort of aware of these playstyles, and have taken note. They've done their homework, and it's going to be so hard to find a counter strategy against the defense of CTNX right now, as I can't really see any vulnerabilities when they're playing, you know, just the right amount of passiveness and balancing out with just the right amount of aggression here.
Yeah, it's all about that balance. It's all about finding the rhythm. And Bren Esports right now, they're running out of room to breathe, running out of room to work with. And Trix is making sure that news gets even tighter. And this is it! The TNK connection, kicking and screaming to Mega kicking their way to victory. But Rex is also there. You can add an R to those initials, because CTNX is looking to be a clan to beat. Extreme to its finest. Neural-Tip in order. The hunt is on to Dubstep. And this is looking to be a match point to remember for CTNX.
Could this be a sort of flawless closeout to this first match?
That's the question there, but okay. You know, the
Dubstep
Guardian
has the answer.
yes, the one tap machine, low key amazing. And with the Guardian, you can replicate things like the Operator. In all honesty, if you hit that head, it's a lot smaller on the crit zone. But hey, if one can do it, it might be Dubstep. And if Dubstep can do this, Bren Esports is still alive. And I wouldn't be surprised if he can. But time is taking care of him. 35 seconds left. Look at this defense from CTNX. They're just waiting for him to show up. And it's like show and tell. Oh my god.
He has the info, but what he can do about it, there's not much. That is the answer. Oh my god! What a shot by Dubstep!
What a shot! He is no stage fright, but Rex will make sure that he will be getting a failing grade no matter what. And that is victory for CTNX, spoiling the debut of Bren Esports with a smudge on the record already. 1 point on the board in this best of 3. Luckily for Bren Esports, this is a BO3, so they will still have a chance. But who'da thunk this is the results? Who'da thunk this would be the start of him?
I mean, this is what the Blitz series is all about. It's just, in-your-face action, really fast results. And again, the stakes are still pretty high here. I know that this is sort of a mini event in the grand scheme of things, as what you're used to seeing, production side from Valorant PH, but the stakes are high. It is the team debut of Bren Esports, and smudge on their record.
Oh my god, it's like you're the belle of the ball, but then suddenly your dress just rips apart, and then you have to try to get some yarn, and it's the wrong color, and that's pretty much it. It's unfortunate. Bren Esports, though, they are going to be getting their map pick of Bind next. And just break it down for me, fam. CTNX, amazing way to win there on Split, though.
Yeah, it's just, Split was their map pick. And we were kind of wondering why, as previously mentioned, like a lot of us were speculating that Split is the best pick for, a roster like 5, now known as Bren Esports. But, CTNX just stepping it up, showing how comfortable they are. And we've also seen them do pretty well on Bind coming into this second game. So, it really is Hoss up at this point, who gets to start on defense and what. But really, I think the main ingredient, the sort of X factor here for this clan is the fact that they are not afraid of whoever they face. I mean, if any of us were put into their shoes, I think we would already be beat before the match even started, but not for CTNX. They have the fortitude, the mental fortitude required to be, a top tier team in the local scene. And
it's ridiculous.
Props to them.
It's absolute props to this clan. They can write to their Nan sometime soon and be as extreme as can be. But damn, what a way to go about things. You got that, didn't you? CTNX, though, winning out on Split. And that double duelist composition is really the way to go for them. We see it time and time again from Trix and Curtsy. It's the Jets with the Phoenix or the Rays, usually. Curtsy is the one who's like, I can play anything, whatever. And Trix is like, I'll play Jet. And okay, no problem. No problem, PH4. They'll all good to go. But what do you think? What can Bren Esports do coming into the map pick to try and figure things out? Because a while ago, saw CTNX amazing on the offense, but a little lackluster on the defense. Almost allowing Samurais to go for the comeback. So can Bren Esports work on that information?
Yeah, I think sort of what Bren has to do here is, I believe, just have to be aware of these sort of off-angle plays that CTNX love to do. And try to basically be extra vigilant, because CTNX just love catching their opponents off guard, especially from what we've seen in their performance against Samurais and in their performance in the previous game. Sometimes you see Bren Esports trying to make these cheeky plays, but then are caught unaware by just one guy holding that off angle. It's definitely what they have to do.
And I just gotta say for Bren Esports, I gotta feel like there's so much pressure on them, because a lot of people are asking why change the roster. A lot of people are asking why change the sponsor. A lot of people are asking what is up with these ancient picks, because we've seen the tried and tested 5-way workout so many times with the proper people on the proper agents. And for now, Bren Esports is a whole new experiment. I really feel like this is a team that is worth picking up no matter what. Looking at the roster, they are not washed whatsoever. They are amazing, to say the least. And in terms of mechanics, they are kind of unparalleled no matter what. Because you see it in their duels, right? If Bren and CTNX are on a straight line, it's Bren who wins that one out 60, 70, or even 80% of the time, thanks to the likes of Dispenser, Vash, and Dubstep. So for Bren Esports, they just need to calm the hell down because they're going into our second map, which is going to be Bind. This is their pick. This is their chance to go for the reverse sweep. And we've seen the 5 Squadron lose that before on the first map and come back strong on the second and third. But I gotta say though, if they go off the hot starts, will be a problem into the taper off later on. It's a lot of questions there, Mr. Vim. I feel like there's so many things they need to work on. And what do you think is agent composition that will suit them better? Should they just play into what works for the individual people first, or try something else?
I really believe that sort of a tournament setup is not the right space to be experimental, so to speak. And if they would opt for a no sage comp, I really believe that Jesse Vash is probably the best sage in the Philippines. I really believe they should keep a sage in their agent composition no matter what, and they should all stick to their comfort picks. I believe, no matter if it's going to be, sort of 3 duelists or 2 duelists. I really think they have to stick to what they're comfortable.
Yeah, it's just Bren Esports looking so out of their identity. Especially you put Ching on a breach like that. Now, I gotta say Ching is an amazing player, no matter what. He's Radiant, right? He's Radiant or something like that.
He's one of the first Radiants, yeah.
Exactly. So no matter what, you can't question his mechanics. But the way he was holding on to Beast Tide a while ago, the way he wasn't able to really line anything up, and even that Rolling Thunder right there on Split A, he still died. It was just like, this is not working for Bren Esports. So they have to do something a little better. They need to figure things out. And I do believe it's the sides are swapped right now in our overlay, so we'll be fixing that one up as soon as possible. But it's CTNX though on the defense, Bren Esports on the offensive. And here we go with a sageless composition here from the side of the attack. Okay, no.
It appears that they heard us, and then they were like, nope, we're not going with the sage.
Okay.
So like, this is gonna be really interesting. I do believe Jesse Vash will be on that Jet, maybe,
Cypher?
or perhaps
No. I feel like he's on that Cypher because he got Dubstep on the Jet.
Okay.
You always want to use that get out of jail free card, right? With the Jet. Oh my god! Same reaction, same 2 kills. Dubstep has opened things up, and B-side is ripe for the taking here.
That was a really quick entry. Not even having enough time to react. CTNX is going to be a really tough retake here. I'm not quite sure if it's actually doable at this point, if they're all coming in from defense connector.
Yeah, we'll find out though if this is gonna be a pixel perfect approach here, as this is Bren Esports with the explosive opening, and that is just gonna be the Phoenix getting a takedown as well. Dubstep coming closer. Seems like though it's a Cypher who gets that takedown instead, and Bren Esports is just going at it really quickly. CTNX is playing the aggressor. Bren Esports saying we can do one better, and this is the tempo we were expecting from a roster like this.
Absolutely. Perhaps CTNX just showing quite a bit that gods do indeed bleed, but gods will still be gods, and that remains to be seen for the rest of the series here, as Dubstep just proving to everyone that he is very effective on that entry frag.
No matter what, you cannot count out Dubstep and his frag potential. And that is why you put Dubstep and Dispenser in the same room together, because in the end, they're going to be bloody with people you didn't really expect to be there in the first place. But here we go, CTNX. They want to play the aggro. They want to go for the B-long push.
Okay.
But okay, early rifle leads to 3. Phoenix lineup into those takedowns. You got Ching on the Sova as well. Bren Esports right now making this look a lot more dominant compared to the last map.
Yeah, perhaps, maybe they're just all that more comfortable here in their map pick here. But I like the sort of gamble that CTNX tried to do there over at B-Long.
Yeah, and that is going to be a try that did not really stand the test of time. And this is what we were talking about a while ago, Mr. Vim. CTNX, they struggled on defense a while ago here in Bind. And for now, Bren Esports is exploiting that and more to get a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, this is looking very strong. Of course, Dispenser going for that early rifle means that on the third round, there will be no gun discrepancy in terms of power ranking coming in from his side at least. And time and time again, Dispenser and Dubstep have been incredibly instrumental for the rest of their team. Ching the God here on that Sova with that Vyminal as well. So this third round could very well be in favor of Bren Esports.
Yeah, we'll find out if Bren Esports can keep up that momentum. They've been getting the lineups, they've been getting those takedowns. Cypher, though, looking to hold here on to B side, and Dispenser inside the smokes here already. Bren Esports, though, wants to play the aggro. That's going to be the curveball that doesn't get too much out of that one. Elbow defense, camera in play, and slower push here from the side of Bren Esports as CTNX is answering with utility.
Seems that attack will be coming in from both sides here. The classic split push is in play, coming in from Bren, but there appears to be a calm before the storm.
Shock Dart even connecting there on the wreck. What's your best Shock Dart impression, Mr. Bim? As we got the first kill already, means like there's gonna be time for the side of CTNX to explode onto the scene, and they will get 3 so far. But here we go with Jing the God, Yayu swing on inside the hookah, and as Dubstep comes closer, he will lose that duel. 1v2 situation though, very difficult right now for Ching unless he can get a one-tap frenzy, and that's gonna be the Phoenix peeking. But as we say that, the one-tap happens, looking for the setup though with the dart. Unfortunately, Olsen moves over to the left side at the right time, and CTNX will get one back, but that was very costly there for the defense.
Absolutely, very costly indeed. That would have been really doable, and just given the fact that Shinigami only had 6 HP left, so a bit unfortunate on his end, but definitely a great effort there, almost clutching it out for his team. This again remains to be seen whether or not CTNX could shift momentum into their favor. They are going to be on Spectre buys, though.
Yeah, this is it. This is where things can turn around here for CTNX. But as you say, a little bit of the handicap. But the question is, are they handy-capable, or will they be struggling without some help? Because it's already 2-1. Bren Esports going for the push. Here comes the Omen as well with the spike in hand, and Borkum doesn't care. He's going to have that Valorant in hand. Did he have a judge for a while back there? But okay, plant time. Bren Esports is getting the red carpet treatment so far.
Absolutely. And this is what we've come to expect from a team like Bren, this sort of relentless aggression and domination coming in as Habs takes down Dubstep, though.
And Bash, he had the judge instead. He gets 3. He will end things on a high note. And Bren Esports up by 2 yet again. Tempo is heavily in favor of Bren Esports right now. And this is the matchup we are expecting. This is the tempo we are expecting. And looking at the roster like this, it seems like it's a lot more comfortable for Bren compared to, well, the breach shenanigans we were seeing a while ago. And I like the fact that Bren Esports is playing something that works for them. It's not time to experiment. It's not time to figure out who the hell you guys are. Just play something you know and get that dub.
Absolutely. And I also like the fact that they've been sort of toying around with these shotguns that we keep seeing time and time again as Borkum gets that 2K in quick succession.
Yeah, but hey, Haps at least has gotten one. Haps has been a clutch man to remember. It really feels like for Haps too, he's very, very surprising. He's kind of low-key, but when the going gets tough, he's one of those players that if in position can do things like that. Because Haps is really good at those duels. And we see it from CTNX. They rely on their 2 duelists, but when it comes to post-plant, Haps is the one to keep an eye out because he's very low-key, and that low-key can cost you your life.
Speaking of Haps 2, I wonder who's Haps 1. Because, Haps 2 is so impressive. Maybe Haps 1 is like his big boss, he's even stronger.
Or maybe he's like the upgraded version. Sometimes when you get the next number, it really feels like it's a series to add on. Exactly.
Yeah.
From pension poor to pension whatever the hell it is nowadays. I remember like those pension trees way back when. It's like, okay, why are we even trying to make a computer work by this way? But Valorant is a game that works on any computer, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it work on a CRT monitor with Pentium and just Intel graphics, even though it will look really, really ugly. But look at that! Taps! He finds a little bit of the tap. Almost gets the kill. Unfortunately, it's a wall bag that dissipates the damage. And Bren Esports with a 4-1. We talk about Haps a lot. He's always in position there to go for the exit. But it doesn't matter because that point goes in favor of Bren again.
Now, with 3 ultimates on the board for the side of Bren, they are definitely in position to keep up the momentum here. But full buy is abound for the side of CTNX. And of course, Habs being able to save that rifle from the previous round is a very big deal. I think sort of momentum could shift in favor of CTNX if they get the double operator setup in play.
What I want to see though, double operator, triple operator from Bren. I want them to give it to me, and I think they'll give it to me when we go to Haven. If we can make it to Haven, that is the question. But it seems like though, Mr. Vim, our history is proving us right. This is a comfortable map here for Bren Esports. They know exactly how to play it compared to, well, the questions a while ago on Split. So for now,
Right.
it's looking really, really calm. It's really, really cool. And they are up by 3 so far into round number 6.
And we see here that Rex is sort of playing that sort of aggressive stance over there at Hookah. Proven time again to have worked so far. Heavy stack defense on B, 3B, 2A defensive split.
Interesting chain of events here for CTNX, looking to play into the B stack because they really know that their opponent is looking very, very strong with their executes. For CTNX Tricks, he's holding close. Dispenser might not see this one coming. There we go, with a push. Never mind, Dispenser knows exactly what's going on. And this is CS back in full force. Dispenser and Dubstep showing why they are the kings of tactical shooters. And in quick succession, they open up the sights.
That was just an incredible sort of display of how you should be able to scan a site really, really quickly. As soon as you pre-fire that one angle, you immediately move on and check the next one, right? And despite being in off-angle positions, this just didn't work against the Dubstep and Dispenser.
And Allison not even paying attention. Borkum gonna be able to flex those push-ups yet again. 5-1 right now. This is the Bren experience that we all signed up for, and they are dominating as expected. For now, though, if you guys are having any stream issues, don't forget we are live both on FB as Twitch. If you are checking it out on Twitch, it's twitch.tv. It says DaksPH. On FB, it's fb.gg. That's ValorantPHGG. Just make sure you guys have those options. We don't want to be having, okay, I can't watch this game because of the ISP. We're not really looking to go everywhere. It's just to make sure that everyone can watch, everyone can cook, anyone can shoot, and anyone can watch a Valorant PH tournaments no matter what. So shout outs to everyone. Don't forget though, our giveaway only works on FB, so check those info out on the pinned comments below. For now though, we're still giving away 3 of those bungees and mouse pads, but for now, Borkum is giving away bullets to the opponent like candy, and he gets 2, and it's not even Halloween yet.
Absolutely. Allison off to something cheeky here with that trigger discipline, though. Takes out Ching the God, takes 2, but gets shut down by Dispenser in response.
Regrets though might be in order here for Dubstep. He didn't see that one coming, and he lost 2 of his teammates because of that. You know, Mr. Vim, sometimes the biggest guilt is not the people who died, but the people who survive. And, you know,
absolutely.
So shocking. Trauma in the order, but for now, Rex is trying to brawl here, but have Stu with the judge. He might be able to push him forward. There we go, though, with the lineup, and Borkum has gotten 3 so far. CTNX unable to get anything done here. That's Borkum with 4, and this is what we were talking about there, Vim. CTNX struggles on the defense here on Bind.
Yeah, definitely, but we'll see what they can bring to the table coming into the second half. But we are only on round 8 so far. Let's see if they can sort of swing the momentum. That was another forced save round, and here's what I'm talking about, Dax. We have a double operator setup coming into play, and this is night time for them to make something happen, because if they lose this and go to another save, it's gonna be it for them for this first half.
And it's pretty telling. Can we have the scoreboard up for a little bit longer? Because it's pretty telling what the problem here for CTNX. Who is bottom frag right now? Curtsy and Tricks. 1 and 0 kills. You cannot have your 2 main pillars of your team doing absolutely nothing and expecting a result that is positive. These 2 guys need to pick it up, and with the operators, they might be able to do so. But Ching the God, he knows how to take these angles well with the Hunter's Fury. Unfortunately, though, he is going to get spotted out, and CTNX will be backing on away instead. Boombota will go down. Operator, though, exposed on B long. And Dubstep looking for the angle, but it's going to be a sniper duel to remember.
See if can make it happen. Borkum does. He takes down 1 operator on the side of CTNX.
He needs to hit those. CTNX needs to hit those if they want to stand a chance. And this is a completely different CTNX from what we saw on Split. A while ago, we saw complete confidence, absolute alpha players. But right now, it seems like they ran out of the Royce and ran out of that steam. They need to figure something out, and Trix will get a second chance, but he knows he's shaky right now. He needs that confidence back. And he's on his Phoenix. He's looking to move on around here and now. They have the raise as well there for the side of Sleepsea. But Borkum, he is a master infiltrator. He's already in position to contest this. And if he just ducks below the operator, he might be able to get the shot on. Dark cover though in order. Close enough to force the push. And Borkum gets another kill on Trix. This hurts. This hurts so badly, Vim.
Beautiful plays coming in here. It's like, this is the sort of Bren play that we were expecting. They're forcing the other team to play into their game, especially what we saw from Borkum, just with that dark cover, expecting that push. He knew what was going to happen. It's like, you know, the predictions happening, and as a prophecy foretold, you know, this team is just taking it away coming into the second game.
Courtesy at least gets a little bit of the ring rush shaken off with that kill, but it doesn't matter. Bren Esports is on it like a bullet. They are on it onto both A and B side. It's ridiculous. Can we get a bonus point if you're able to, you know, take both sides in one round? It's ridiculous how Bren has so much map control right now. And we're seeing the semifinal experience replicated here in the grand finals. We're seeing them make this map even smaller, and CTNX, they need to do something to figure something out. They need to do something. They need to get those kills. It's so simple between Tricks and Sleepsy, and it's so difficult right now.
Absolutely. I think them losing that very crucial round, I'm not quite sure if they can do anything to sort of adapt here as the clock, you know, is ticking for the first half here.
And here we go again. Dubstep right now, keeping an eye out, and that's gonna be a good contest. But never mind, the operator has gotten to, and that's that, Vim. That's a quick one there.
Absolutely. It's not much. And Dubstep is just not stopping, man. He's just not stopping. He's out for blood with a 3K. Will he get a fourth or possibly an ace here with that operator? That's what we've come to expect.
Yeah, questions abound. Borkum, though, gonna be by the showers right now. He's going for the TP play, though, but B side is already secured. And Mr. Vim, you know, Bren Esports has basically squatted on B side, and I don't think CTNX can do anything to contest. So what are they doing completely correct right now?
I think they're now on the fact here, they're just trying to get those early picks, and I believe CTNX is having that bit of a trouble finding that balance of aggression and passive defense, because, you know, they get immediately punished by Bren Esports here. I think Bren is looking very much on point, perhaps sticking to what they know, and absolutely just playing to their strengths here, you know.
Yeah, it really is. And there you go again. Oh, still the CTNX able to get one there, but it doesn't really matter by this point, right? Bren Esports is making a monumental lead, and they are just showing us why they were signed up. They're showing us that that one game was a fluke, and they're doing all they can and more to be impressive, to say the least.
Absolutely. Attackers won once more, and the score line is 1-8 in favor of Bren. Again, this is sort of the show that we were expecting coming in from a team like Bren. Star-studded cast, absolutely. But with a showstopper online for the side of CTNX, although the gun disadvantage here, Spectre, sort of forced by, I guess.
It's something. That's pretty much it. It's when you look in the mirror and say, might as well give it a shot. But Tricks, man, my man, you know,
not looking too high right now, though.
My man, you gotta do something in this game. CTNX is relying on Tricks to be explosive. It's really a Trick show sometimes. He has been a constant MVP for his squad. But when you're 0-10, my man, that's all I gotta say to you. My man, come on, you got it. My man, wake up!
It's a tough situation to be in, and it sort of compounds in your head. Like, I've been in that spot before.
I've been in that spot, Bim. Don't worry, I'm always in that mood.
It's not a good place to be, right? And it sort of makes you second guess your every decision. And as the entry frag for your team, you cannot second guess. And I think that's a very detrimental situation to be in for Tricks.
You know, Mr. Brim, that's all I gotta say. Feel ko magbubukas yan ng aimlad after this game. Just to make sure he's okay. Probably. But here we go again. CTNX will be playing very defensively all the way on the backside. But it's so difficult. If they're looking to play closer, but Bren Esports is able to still take an anvil with the operator, it doesn't matter. And the 2-stack 1B might not be enough, but you can see the fear of CTNX. They are very lost on what to do. They're just at least looking for potential, and that's it. You know. That's that. Okay, refrag, but it doesn't really matter because Tricks is already dead again and again. Okay, CTNX. What has happened to this squad?
Yeah, it's just you know, now they're playing perhaps a bit too passive, and this is what I was talking about earlier. When you give free reign to the offensive team, just walk into sight like that, it can't really end that well.
Bam, this is not a bit. This is ridiculous.
I mean, it's a bit of an understatement, yeah.
A tad bit of an understatement because I'm stating that Borkum is at elbow. He's on the shoulder.
Right there already.
There.
Right?
He's on 15. Okay. It's
When you let the team just walk in like that, right? You know.
It's you're a doormat basically, and this is also one thing. Borkum has 15 kills, and we expect Borkum to be a stable part of the Bren Esports roster. And him being up into the charts here is really good for them because it does mean their team is firing on all cylinders. Borkum is doing all he can and more. And for CTNX on the other side, they need to perform and they need to do it fast. But they will have a chance though, even though we're kind of giving them the. We're giving them the sad vibes here. They did impress a while ago on the offensive. It was a 2 right, so it can still happen. Dubstep though, explosive here. Tricks will go down. Haps in the meantime, gonna catch out Dubstep, but Borkum with a blind into 2. This is Bren Esports executing and exploding on A side. Go for the TP up on top. Might get caught here by the race, but no, he will be able to get on away. And Borkum coming closer and closer to the connector yet again to get another kill.
Borkum is just, showing us how masterful he is on that Ohm, and here on Bind, it's just he knows just about every angle as he gets taken down by Courtesy right there. But Dispenser just closes out the round with that. What do you call that? Actually, I can't really tab to see my Quadigo. that Phoenix Molly.
The Molly, the hot hands. And he is looking so hot here. And you gotta say that he really is just taking all the heat away there from CTNX. Last round before the half. But if CTNX is explosive on the offense, they need to make sure that they don't lose at all. Because this is looking to be a potential 11-1 scoreline. And if Bren Esports wins that first pistol round, I think the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, I think when you have a sort of 11-1 scoreline, I think it's pretty much impossible to take that match point away from the other team, right?
Yeah.
It's just so little room for error, and one mistaking it, you just already lose the rest of the game. But arguably a 2-10 scoreline, however, is something completely different. So a lot rides on this round.
Less pressure, right? You have one extra round to give, and you are going to be able to make sure that you can play into an eco state compared to when you're on match point all the time. It's always buy because if you're dead, then you don't really use that money per se. But here we go again. We've seen this B-long push work time and time again for Bren Esports. Dubstep with the operator holding on the garden. We have Dispenser coming close, but Haps decides to play close, get rid of the annoying man in the shower. Borkum goes down to the judge, and Dispenser instead running it back all the way to the other side.
And Dubstep here at a man disadvantage, 3-5. Does have that operator. Oh, beautiful placement by Rex. Great anticipation right there.
Underdog with that bulldog, but he is able to make it happen through grit right now here from CTNX. And as we're saying, 10-2 would be a lot better in 11-1, and seems like they've heard our prayers and are looking for a little bit more. Shato coming on through. Ching the God finally waking on up and getting a takedown there, clutching it out for the team. But the time is not yet it. The die has been cast, sure, but Vash and Ching the God have to figure something out. It's funny to see two different people on this agent composition here for the 4-5 roster, and it seems like it's Ching looking to hold the lines, but he will fall. And the clutch just isn't there for the Bren Esports roster. It's just a little too different, and CTNX will take it there. 2-10 our scoreline though, and this is where CTNX can find some momentum back.
Yeah, I mean, that was a much needed sigh of relief for the side of CTNX, and it's absolutely crucial for them to win these first 2 pistol rounds. But if the previous bind performance was any indicator of how well they do here, and I really believe that they can somehow bring it back. But, a team like Bren, it's going to, if they're that strong on offense, they're going to be just as strong, if not stronger on defense. So, tough, tall order here.
Indeed. Tall order, tough cookie. Anything and everything can truly happen, to say the least. And in any case, we'll find out what CTNX is all about. Seems like, though, the stack is all the way over onto A sites. Cypher of Jesse Bash looking to hold the line here, but he is going to get beaten back from the showers, and he has to be careful with what's going on.
I'm much curious to see if they're going to try the same sort of strategies they try to pull against Samurais, or if they're going to be playing more on the fly, sort of improvisational technique.
And here we go again, Jesse Bash right now near the Radionite. And as we said before, Bren Esports takes this round rather, then they can really set up the tempo into this half. Still though, Dubstep on the inside. Keeping at it on Labs, Dispenser Borkum though, through the smokes, through the shadows, they will get 2 so far. And Bren Esports going off the hot start yet again as Ching the God gonna get 2 as well.
Oh. Damn, it looks like they wanna get this round done and dusted as 11-2 now. Our scoreline still heavily in favor of Bren, and that was arguably probably the last stand for CTNX, right? If they don't win these 2 pistol rounds, there's not much they can do.
Yeah, it just goes to show it's a struggle indeed. And the question is, what can CTNX do this time? They are on a eco state. They do have a round to give, so they can play the eco and look for the 3rd round turnaround to at the very least contest the opposition. But Bren Esports knows the writing is on the wall. They know they can just make this a very, very tough time for CTNX, so they go for the buys to secure a round, and this looks to be a slaughter in the making.
Yep, they have to go for match point here. Of course, when you can go for match point, you definitely want to secure that right off the bat, as Borkum, Wild Flash takes down 2.
And there you go, Borkum got 2 so far. Allison though at least getting 1 back for the side of CTNX, but you can see that there's just too many bullets and too little lives. Bren Esports is on match points.
Yep, and this is the sort of scoreline we were expecting to see. 12-2 now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we can expect from Bren Esports.
This is the Bren Esports show. This is their world, and we are just living in it here. This is what we expected when we saw this roster signed up. This is what we expected when we were looking into these changes. And my oh my, Bren Esports is looking oh so scary. It seems like a map 3 is in order, but we'll see if CTNX can do something and be amazing indeed. Little push though here for Bren Esports. You can see the confidence right now. Dubstep as well as the oven of his teammates. He's going to be keeping an eye out here, and already to the showers, already to the flak, and Hapsu will go down first.
And very problematic, as Hapsu is pretty much the clutch lord for his team right there. Again, really a show of confidence here. Defensive aggression as the spike is about to be planted, but it's going to be a full-on 5-man retake for the side of Bren.
Yeah, time to drop it down. Borkum gonna be coming closer, and Allison will go down. Post-match situation, sure, but Bren Esports is looking to figure something out already with the curveball. Run on true. Dispenser with a drive on by, and now it is Tricks versus the world. He was clutch in game number 1. He is looking oh so weak here on game number 2. Question is, can he do something right now? He gets 1. A little bit of hope, but it's not gonna happen. Bren Esports will shut him down, and we are going into map number 3 with a dominant affair here for Bren Esports.
Absolutely incredible performance, just completely shutting down CTNX, making them look like a completely different team right there in this bind match. And look at this. This is not sorted by team stacks. This entire scoreboard, it just goes to show how dominant Bren Esports is. Look at this.
What a
Absolutely
score.
incredible.
What a score. And it really just goes to show when your duelist is not feeling it, you need to figure something else out. Hapsu and Allison trying to climb those charts, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. And you can see the problem there. Tricks, Curtsy, absolutely amazing players. Absolutely stellar, especially their own split. But their own bind felt like it was a completely different person playing that game. And you'd say that their standard is the great gameplay. Their standard is being amazing, making the entry and making sure CTNX has something to work with. But when they are looking lost in translation, when they can't do anything whatsoever, that is where Bren Esports is able to capitalize on what a shutdown no matter what, and what's a way to go. So there you go, guys. That's going to be another victory yet again for the side of Bren Esports. 1-1 right now, and everything's tied up, moving over to Haven.
Yeah, I mean, they might have had a rough start here, but Bren perhaps was just warming up yet again, because that was just an opposite outcome coming in here into bind. But actually, I'm really curious, of course, as is everyone here. It's kind of like a TV series, and we're getting ready to see the final episode to see how the ending is going to turn out, right? It's just What a cliffhanger this
What a
is.
cliffhanger.
It would be a shame if we go to a break right about now. It'll be a shame.
And perfect segue right there, Mr. Vim. We'll be breaking down a little bit of the last two maps later on, and we will go on a break because these two teams need it. Our next map, of course, will be Haven, but we will be going for our last break of our session, and we will be right back, guys. Stick around. This is the Blitz series, sponsored, of course, by Endgame Gear. Ago how Bren Esports kind of plays things out. They're able to more or less choke out their opponent, make sure that they are going to get stifled no matter what. And in many cases, more often than not, they're absolutely impressive at making sure Haven is not a 3-side, becomes a 1-side affair on the defense. It feels so imposing. It feels so suffocating. And Bren Esports, this is a team that can be scary on the defensive side. But CTNX, explosive on the offense. And it seems like it's a matchup to remember between our two teams.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how Bren Esports just quickly dismantled their previous opponent on this map prior to this grand final series, only on the water, rather. And let's see if the same can be said against a more formidable team, arguably, in the form of CTNX here.
Yeah, so many questions though right now for CTNX. Will we see the identity of game number 1 CTNX, or will we see game number 2 CTNX? Because it feels like it's either 100 or 0 from them. And we've seen this problem from them before. If we don't see the two duelists pop off, then it's a struggle for CTNX to pretty much do anything they want to do, because they rely on those entries to allow them the advantage to set up on the sites. On the other hand, Bren Esports, they're very consistent. They know what to play. They know how to play it alongside the agents that they do need to know how to play. So all they need to do is to make sure that they are on something comfortable, and the rest is easy.
Absolutely. And I really believe that for the side of either team, if both playmakers could maintain a sort of even scoreboard here, then it'll bode well for the rest of their team. Because again, in a tactical shooter like this, you don't want to see just one playmaker with a huge discrepancy on the scoreboard. And that usually is the telltale sign of whether or not you're going to win this match, right?
Yeah. That's how you are going to be able to win those again and again. But for now, as we are waiting on for this game to get started, it feels like, though, that between Bren Esports and CTNX, there's a lot riding on the line. So, Mr. Vim, what's package again for our Grand Champion? For
the Grand Champion, we have 5 XM1 gaming mice, 5 mouse pads, and 5 mouse bungees. And I do believe we have confirmation that the game will be commencing.
Ooh, attack, defense, commencing? And how long? I can't wait to get into a matchup like this. But you can see on the scoreboard, CTNX and Bren Esports all tied up, 1 apiece. And do or die time in this best of 3. Who is going to be the champion of our inaugural Blitz series? Who is going to be the one to take the crown? Who will it be? Will it be CTNX, or will it be Bren Esports? Is Bren Esports going to be on the defense, CTNX on the offensive? We're going to be getting into the action right away. No more stalls, no more time. Let's get into this game.
Look at this. No Sage composition for the side of Bren Esports. They've been doing this more and more often. And I like how they've been sort of innovating these strategies. Let's see if it'll pay off for this match. But a bit more of a standard composition coming in here for the side of CTNX. You got the double intel composition, of course, as a Sage.
Yeah, it seems like, though, here for the side of Bren Esports, they do play that double intel, as you said. They are going to have that Jet and the Phoenix and the Omen. And this seems like it's a composition that works out really well for them. They saw a lot of comfort there on Bind. They're looking to do the same old thing again here on Haven, just like last time. And on the other side, it's going to be pretty similar. But something to note, though, is there is no Phoenix. It's going to be the Sage there instead. So we'll see if CTNX can use that healing advantage to the best degree, or will it just be a one-shot, one-kill here from the side of Bren Esports?
I'm pretty happy to see Tricks on that Jet once again. We've seen him do some incredible things on Split, and arguably, this map is also a bit of a Jet favorite map, as Dispenser and Jesse Vash takes down 2.
Jesse Vash going to be backing on Haps 2. We'll be falling there, and in the meantime, Spike now going to get planted here by the side of Bren Esports. 5v3 scenario, though, and everything is going really, really good so far from our favorites High ground right now taken. And as we said, if they can put up the same kind of experience from the second half, then this is going to be Bren Esports for the taking. Dispenser, though, pushing on forward. Cypher Cage is already popped. There we go, though, with a push. That's going to be the stage going on down. Next on the list will be the Cypher. And this is just cleanup from Bren Esports. Hopping on the round. Ching the God turns around to get rid of Courtesy. And the Courtesy is on Bren Esports instead. They will take that first round win. Flawless, if I may add.
Yeah, that was indeed a pretty sick flick from Ching the God. Shades of the previous map already showing here into the third game of our best of 3 series.
Ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how this is all working out here for the side of Bren Esports. And the question is, can they keep things up? We were just really excited for everything going on here into our Blitz series, and it has been an amazing session so far. It really feels that this is a debut to remember here for Bren. And for Dispenser right now, he's going to be on the inside of the garage, and we'll see if Bren Esports can make people proud, can make everyone proud of them, and keep their crown on their heads. As this dubstep, making sure he steps onto Borkham. Going to be able to get another one as well. It's time for the cleanup onto mid doors. Tricksto comes close with that surety there. And for now, CTNX, opportunity to find a few more picks.
And we see this time and time again, right? Like the initial picks coming in from dubstep, just whether it be opening up a site on offense or just, you know, keeping it in check on defense. It just happens so often.
Yeah, it happens so fast, and look at that, 2-0 right now in a blink of an eye. It really feels that when it is Bren Esports' time to shine, they do so very quickly. They get the lineup, they get those takedowns, and right now they're going to be working with the second round guns they have. 2 Spectres, 1 Bulldog, alongside a rifle as well as an operator. So there's firepower. Good chance here for CTNX, but I can really look into both Jesse Bash and Borkham, looking to play it close onto B and A sites to make sure that the range advantage is still in their favor.
Yep. This is going to be a really good round for Bren, especially if dubstep can get some initial picks here. Looks like the spike will be rotating in a sort of A-long position here.
Yeah, A-long though held up by dubstep. We saw him holding this 1-4, and he will do so again onto Tricks. Wasn't ready for it. The jet will go down, and sometimes you just gotta keep an eye out on an agent like this. Tailwind though to get the hell out of there. Dubstep gonna be retreating already. Might be hopping up on top to Heaven instead, and he's keeping an eye out here onto the site. Good spots for our jet to stay safe and sound.
And you see really the prowess of Jet's kit right there. Really being put to good use. Like after you get that early pick, you just reposition, get the hell out of there, and that's what Jet is all about. You know, making use of that operator in such a way.
It really does mean that when the jet is able to get the hell out of there, you're not going to be able to get that gun away, and you can really take very aggressive angles that you wouldn't see so far in any other agent. Pretty much why the jet op has become the meta. Just allow your one player to dash on around, get those kills, and clean up house. Before Dispenser, though, he's on the cubby already. No one checking that one out, and that's going to be 2 for free for Dispenser. Highly unfortunate. Rex tried to set up with the orb, and he's going to get caught with his gun away, but Haps at the very least opening things up. Seaside right now going to be cleared? No, it's not, because Jesse Bash and Borkham show up out of nowhere from the logs, from the crates. It's Bren Esports up by 3, and this is the experience we were expecting from this squad.
It appears that at this moment, it appears that for the side of CTNX, they're making these small little errors that all add up to the big picture. Again, they failed to check that one corner, and Dispenser was able to exploit that mistake, getting 2 before being trade fragged. And they got to stop making those fundamental errors if they want to go against a team such as Bren Esports here.
Yeah, CTNX already impressed us a while ago in game number 1. They were able to play so cleanly, able to set on up and even have fun against Bren Esports. But for now, this is going to be Bren playing the aggression yet again, and it seems like experiment time is over. It's time to go for something tried and tested. Dispenser backing on away. Really good rotation away from the garage entrance, because he knows that's a shorty in hand. Tricksto still will get that kill, but at the very least, Ching the God has gotten the refrag on, and the shock darts will bounce on around. Electricity coursing through his veins. Ching adding things up to his collection after we see dubstep dominating in the middle.
Again, really a strong performance. And we see sort of an even scoreline coming in here for the side of Bren Esports. And two of the agents from CTNX at 0 kills right now. And this is definitely not something you want to see coming into the 5th round.
Good work.
Ridiculous. And look at that dubstep. Just getting those dubs 5-0. Ching the God also doing God's work, and he really feels like that he's putting on an impact compared to the last 2 games. But for now, Trix at the very least opening things up against Borkum. And for CTNX, this is the first step in the right direction. But that Odin trying to hide in the corner, not going to be the best way to go about things. The Spencer looking to clean up house. He will get one. But at the very least, this is CTNX going 4v4. Still a chance for them to take this round.
Look at that, just Dispenser dispensing all of his abilities.
Yeah, looking for a little bit of the angle here, and okay, it's a Bladestorm tool that works out in favor of Trix instead. But Ching the God holding the diagonal. Here we go with the peak, and Rex is just running in to get that takedown. Plant in order, perhaps here for the C side. Trix is hiding inside the Cloudburst, and he will see Dispenser there, but Dispenser quicker on the reaction yet again. Something he's been doing so far in this game. Still, though, this is going to be high time right now for Bren Esports to prove they can play it clutch. Going to be difficult, though. 2v3 inside the smoke.
Perhaps these Cloud Smokes were sort of worked against his own favor. Trix getting just juked out there by Dispenser. Jesse Vash will be going to try go for that retake.
And there you go, Dispenser gonna be going on down. Hapsu rather going down to the hand of Dispenser. And it seems like the Rex is keeping an eye out, but it's still gonna be easy tidings for Vash. 1v1 right now, gets another shot, but unfortunately, he will run out of time. Can he get the hell out of there? No, he won't. Loses the op. And that was costly there for both sides, but at the very least, CTNX will get a round that they need. Unfortunately for them, though, Bren has a big bank.
Yep, very huge bank advantage in favor of Bren here, but again, a much needed point on the board finally for CTNX. Will they wake up here and make a play?
All they need to do that now is figure something out on this side. Will they be able to make that play? Will they be able to do it a little cleaner? Because they need to do so right now. They have rifles around, sure, but still, in terms of economy, Bren Esports can do the same old thing and win a round and puts CTNX down below in the bank statement. For now, though, Dispenser by the doors yet again. Spike to a drop. And seems like, though, here for CTNX, they're looking for picks, they're looking for pokes, trying to figure out a way to actually penetrate this defense.
Time and time again, for his team, I do believe that Trix has been very efficient entry frag. Perhaps not in the second map, but he is doing a lot of work here as he does get taken down by Dispenser.
And Dispenser has gotten killed. Ching the God also doing the same, sticking by the platform right now. Recon Bolt, though, getting the intel, and Shock Dart's thrown out, but Ching is able to back out the hell away. Classic, though, in his hands. Can he clutch it that, though? It doesn't work. Rex and Curtsy peek together, and CTNX going to be able to set up on C side yet again. Rotations, though, in order. Jets as well as the Cypher. Some op gods in the making. Question is, though, can Dubstep find that kill?
Yeah, at this point, they don't have to peek through that defense connector, though.
Okay, Jesse Vash! Oh my god. You know, we talk about Vash all the time, Vim, with the operator. He's able to do the same old thing with the Vandal. Taps a bound, and the Cypher looking to really prove himself in this game.
Absolutely. He is no longer that Sage main we all know and love. Now he's just showing that he is a versatile player in his own right.
Yeah. And you know what else is versatile? Everything that Endgame here and Rotherbox has given us. Don't forget, guys, we still have giveaways going on. So you like and share that stream. Use the hashtags and make sure you are public, because we're going to be able to find out if you won a Bungee or a mousepad courtesy of Endgame gear. This is the Blitz series. We are going to see a 5-1 scoreline here for Bren Esports and shades of Bind. What has turned around here for Bren Esports, Mr. Vim?
Just that they have been exploiting these little mistakes that CTNX have been committing, and they are looking very comfortable in this map. They're not really afraid of playing the aggressor, even on the side of defense. Just Dubstep and Dispenser securing early kills, that those -1s, those -2s really early on in the round, just securing the victory time and time again.
Absolutely changing things up to the best degree, and Tricks right now gonna be hanging on around. But Jesse Vash, we've seen this before. As soon as he gets the intel, you know that shot is gonna connect. Your sights is gonna be blinded, but at the very same time, your life is gonna be forfeit. A side defense though gonna be losing one, but at the very least, they're able to play in behind with post plants.
Yeah, I really like how Jesse Vash is playing Heaven here, just trying to maintain visibility as Spencer takes down Rex really quickly right there.
Oh, and Dubstep even climbing on top of those crates, making this look like Crash Bandicoot instead. But the operators are spinning heads and getting takedowns. This is what I want to see for Bren Esports. Multiple operators with a roster with multiple operator players. This is what they're looking to prove to us, that this is why we have this roster, and we can make sure that our snipers are going to be singing every single time we make a shot happen.
I mean, we talk about this all the time, that operators are sort of OP, for lack of the better word, here in the current meta. In a game like Valorant, because of arguably perhaps the map design, as other people speculate. And of course, having a team such as Bren Esports, the C roster, where pretty much all of them can be proficient with the op, is definitely a plus in my book.
It is. Anyone can pick up that op and they can do something with it. But here we go again with CTNX. 3-1-1 setup. And while Dubstep is keeping an eye out, sees that shot. But Curtsy, amazing shot from all the way on the other side. That's a Phantom, by the way, getting that kill. Really goes to show CTNX making it to the grand finals for a reason. But Borkham now with the proper flank gets the spike drop. This is going to be CTNX looking to respond. Phantom play though in order. There we go, the paranoia as well. And for Borkham, job done, slows things down. And this can be Bren Esports looking for a pick. But CTNX with Tricks, he's keeping an eye out on the Heaven side.
And you can see sort of CTNX slowing down their pace here. And this is them playing into the game of Bren. This is what Bren wants. When you sort of stall the offensive like that, then it's so much easier to predict what they're going to do. So much easier to stop them dead in their tracks.
Yeah, always a chance. And here we go again with the tap. Jesse Vash gonna get caught out by Tricks, and he's been amazing in this series, even though he had a lackluster game number 2. His game number 1 was absolutely style points. Borkham gonna be looking to figure something out here, and now Paranoia gonna be into play as well, and Hapsu retreating into the darkness. The Spencer, though, finding a target, catches out that Jet. And it seems like the plan of action here for the attack is to cover up the screens, cover up these points, and make sure that they can avoid those Hunter's Furies along the way. Hapsu right now sees the Phoenix, run into him. Dispenser goes down. Borkham is there as well, though. And here we go again with the duel. Spike defuse has been faked. Counter Hunter's Fury, though, on the other side. And that is to be Ching the God getting that takedown. But is the lineup enough? Can Curtsy make this happen? Shock Dart will be the clutch factor. And is it gonna work out? Run and gun action. What a stick here from Bren Esports. Curtsy will get that kill, but the point has been taken by the defense.
Man, what an incredible sort of stall play there. I like what CTNX tried to do. They tried to play for time, you know, using that dark cover, just trying to delay as much as they can. Unfortunately, at the end of the round, it's just that Courtesy was just a second too late to go for that post-plant defense.
Yeah, and you know what's unfortunate right now? We're seeing from CTNX what we saw a while ago from Samurais. Just a step behind. They have the right ideas. They get some good post-plants on. But in the end, it's a little too late. And even though it's funny, it's the second time we saw a stick defuse work in this series, in this tournament rather, it still feels like for CTNX, they have a fighting chance. They proved to us that they can do something. They can make this a match a while ago on Split. They have to do it right now, though, here on Haven, or it's going to be crowned going on over again to Bren Esports.
Yeah, and just a bit of background on some of the players, some of the playmakers here on the field as Tricks takes down. Speaking of Tricks, he is an 18-year-old sort of prodigy in the making. And of course, Dubstep just makes quick work of him, though, as, you know, Bren Esports just showing that perhaps age comes with wisdom here.
You know, fine wine. But you know what? The thing about Dubstep is he's a prodigy that has been made. He's had that moment. He's had that transition period. And Ching the God sees Rex in an awkward spot, reloading in front of him. Clean up, my name is Bren Esports. And everything is just going right here for the defense. This is what we were talking about. That when they are on this defense, when they are able to play these ops, this is the Bren experience that we were expecting from a roster like this. From CS all the way here on Valorant, working together as one. But on the other side, CTNX, the best thing they can do is play gap close. And we will expect it from Tricks because he's going for the judge here, Vim.
And we see some really disgusting stuff coming in from, you know, Jet judge players. So I expect to see something pretty nasty come into play here.
Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous to say the least, but here we go again. Curveballs. Oh, quick little dart go to clean up by the Spencer. But at the same time, Bren Esports slowly but surely rotating the hell away from the garage. For now, though, that's gonna be Jet keeping an eye out. Has to, exposing his position with a dart literally on his face. But it seems like the answer here, Vim, is to just bomb rush mid. Who cares on what to do? The plan of action is to go straight, to go get those takedowns, and make this look simple and clean. Question is, though, who is gonna get walled off? Will it be Borkum, or will it be the Jets? Tricks, though, coming closer. There we go, the spike plant, a little bit of the spam there. And Bren Esports have to respond to a B-side take, but here comes the judge!
Oh, here comes the judge!
That is what we expected here from Tricks.
It appears that, at this point, they really needed to play close quarters.
Yeah, but there you go, Allison actually catching out one after the flurry of rifle kills there from the side of Bren Esports, and oh no, Jesse Bash with the hat tip, it's not gonna be enough!
Oh my god!
Happen! Like I said, Bim, keep it simple, clean, and make it look easy! CTNX gets one back in the weirdest ways possible.
Yeah, sort of that eco round that, Rex just making the frenzy work. It is a very formidable weapon once you line up those headshots. And it appears that sort of the fast take approach is the play here for CTNX.
Yeah, the way to go here for the side of CTNX is to go rampant, to go speedily, and make sure that something can happen with those kills. A while ago, they even had pistols, so it really goes to show if they can play even closer, it might make a difference. That is the operator, so getting the trade. Poor Dispenser, though, caught out by Tricks, but Ching the God will get his revenge. Now, something to note, though, Rez is in order here for the side of CTNX, but Dubs is already on it! Sees the stage there, but a little bit punished by Rex at the same time! Anticipation is there, Currency making the Odin work as well! And it feels like spam is the way to go. CTNX, Brute Force, doing it yet again, and the C side getting it angled here by the attack.
I mean, at this point, Bren is so good at picking off their opponents one by one. I think the only way is try to go brute force and try to overwhelm their operators. They do have a 2-operator setup, and of course, bomb rushing an op is probably the best idea to counter it.
Yep, just go Serpentine. They won't all hit us. You won't be able to kill us all. There you go.
Yeah, that's true.
You duck to the left, duck to the right. Red light, green lights. Operators though here for Ching the God to save this one. But CTNX is making this the best possible scenario after all of that. They're breaking these streaks, and they are getting a round back. So 8-3 gonna be our scoreline coming into the last round in this half, as we do see the Omen though getting caught out by Ching the God. What do you think though? CTNX, they're just running and gunning. Is this really the worthwhile way to go about things, Mr. Vim?
I mean, I think it'll work maybe 2 rounds, and this is what we've seen, right? But if they try it the 3rd time, I'm pretty sure a team like Bren would catch a pulse on that, catch a read on that, and just easily counter it. As of course, stacking onto perhaps mid here would allow them to easily rotate and shut down a rush.
Yeah.
So what CTNX has to do here to secure an 8-4 scoreline is to play it slow in this round and try to get a pick. They have to play for picks and they have to win their duels. And of course, up against a team like Bren, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, that's true. And I think here for CTNX also is they need to get a pick with the take. Because if you leave it to Brent go for post-plant 5v5, you can really see the struggles there, because they're so useful with the utility, so useful with the guns, those snipers and all the like. Spencer though pushing forward, and he still catches out the Cypher there! Ching the God though doesn't care that his teammate is out in front. He's like, okay, he has an extra life, no problem whatsoever. And here we go again. Curtsy right now gonna be putting on a show here on A side. He has the Odin, he can really spam things down inside that tower. And for the side of Jesse Bash, he's back on that. Good post-plant setup here for the side of CTNX, but the numbers don't lie. It's an advantage here for Bren Esports, but okay, never mind. It's gonna be Rex looking for Daks around, but Curtsy will get caught after mowing down the Spencer, and a quick chain of kills. And like I say, they need a pick off. They need to make sure someone goes down on Bren, or CTNX will have a hard time keeping the spike alive.
That's the thing, when you have to, perhaps at that point, playing slower was the play. You could have expected the sort of Dispenser to go out using that ultimate, perhaps standing back a bit and waiting for that initial aggression and shutting down their aggression, punishing them, would have been the play right there. But alas, we come into the second half here. Now the sides will swap and CTNX will be on the defense. Only time will tell, folks. Will this be the upset of the century, or will this be another one in the books for Bren Esports?
And things are looking pretty dicey here because CTNX has proven that they aren't really the best defenders from the last map. Even though they were amazing there on Split, it's still Haven. And if Bren gets that one pick, then you already know who has the advantage. On a 3-side map, one defender makes a whole difference, right?
Absolutely. And the thing with Bren, it's just that all of them are so competent with, of course, holding down each side alone, for example. And it sort of favors a map like Split where everyone is so spread thinly.
Hey, here we go. We again onto the A take. It's Bren Esports looking explosive. And for now, Allison trying to do one better up here on Heaven. But for now, he's going to struggle to find any kind of vision to begin with. Dubs though inside the dark cover. Shorty in his hands. You always see that Jet dashing on in to try and get some takedowns. Shakhtar so throwing on that. Trixo with the first kill. And there we go. The anticipation. Free kill onto one. Dubstep though. Gonna get caught by two instead.
That's why you buy armor in the first round.
No, that's true. That's true. Extra 25 HP makes a difference. But here we go again. Dispenser and all of him trying to figure things out. The Cypher right now all alone here. Jesse Bash though sees the Crouching Tiger hit the Dragon from above. And what happened there? Action dive from the side of the defense. But unfortunately, it's Bren Esports again with the win. And can we get that scoreboard? Because there's one thing I want to commend right now from Bren Esports. And I do believe that Ching the God is top frag right now, and that's really, really good. Okay, he's second right now, just to Dispenser, but he was top frag for a while, and this is such a good thing for Bren Esports, because he was struggling for the past 2 games, in all honesty. On Split, his breach was like, what are we even doing here? And then on Bind, it was just a non-factor in a way because of the amazing plays of Borkum, Dubstep, and Dispenser. So it really felt like, okay, that was an angle not taken too much. But here he is really stepping on up, proving why Dubstep and Ching have been added to this roster. And here we go again. Dubstep absolutely explosive, looking for the kill. He gets to CTNX. They just basically try to close this door, but apparently this is going to be a shutdown there from Dubstep. Here's still Habs inside the smoke. He will see the one here by the logs, hopping on around like a bunny. Yes, sir. He's like, boing, 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 I'm gonna get that kill, but Bash is there to shut that down. 2v2 though, and this isn't as dominant as you'd expect here from Bren Esports.
Yeah, coming into this round, especially with the gun advantage. Now completely a doable retake for the side of CTNX. Remains to be seen, however, if they will get a successful retake here.
Courtesy though, looking for that intel. Oh my god, though, the info is even better here for the side of Bren. 1v1 works out. They saw the curveball. They were like, okay, throw that one down, get the peek on at the right time. And this is just a dominant scoreline here from Bren Esports. This story had it had a interesting start. It had a start wherein you could see 2 teams evenly matched, even more so that CTNX going off for a proper intro there. But sometimes you gotta look back into any kind of storyline, Mr. Brim. And the protagonist, Mr. Vim. Mr. Vim.
I am the Vyminal.
You are the Vyminal. Vyminal criminal. But as I was saying, when you look at that main character, eventually it works out for them. The power spike happened. Bren Esports is good to go. And this is looking to be an amazing pickup here for an amazing org. But at the same time, CTNX still has a chance. 8th round difference. Easy as pie for CTNX.
Absolutely. CTNX, though, with the initial 2 kills, looking really strong coming into this round, but with a scoreboard of that discrepancy, it's just, it's just a tough job to do.
Yeah, we've seen CTNX still contest these 3rd rounds, basically. They're making sure that they can go for the fight with equal guns, and this is them taking advantage. There you go, the beautiful Shakhtar connecting onto A side. There we go with Allison yet again. Deb Spencer, though, will win out that duel after the fact, but Rex keeps an eye out on the Cloudburst. CTNX will finally get the round that they need. And it really goes to show this team is no slouch. If you give them the guns, they can fight. They will be able to stand toe-to-toe against Bren. But at the same time, the thing about Bren is they're always opposing, and they're always able to build such a big lead to put you in harm's way.
Yeah, I mean, putting yourself in the shoes of a team like CTNX, I just really like to commend them for the fortitude, because, a team like Bren, for example, it's just so hard to fight against an opponent that seems like they're always thinking one step ahead of you. You know what I mean? And coming up against a team like Bren, in no matter what their roster is, people from the roster of 5, it's just they always seem like they're one step ahead of you at any given point in time throughout the match.
It really goes to show they have a lot of trust with each other. Great coaching as well from the manager, Mr. Gabo. And at the same time, CTNX right now catches out Tudo. And that's one thing Mr. Gabo is going to be looking to scold them to keep an eye out on those flanks. But overall, it feels like it's a story of youth versus experience here, Vim. CTNX, if I remember correctly, they're 20 and under for Bren. What is their average? Like 20, 28? Something like that? Maybe 30?
Something
I'm not
like that.
sure.
But I am proud of the fact that perhaps in a more mature age, you can still be at the top level of competitive gaming.
And their reflexes have not gone to waste whatsoever, as Dubstep has been able to get through so far with the operator. This is the Dubstep show, and we are just looking to watch it yet again unfold here in Valorant. Dubstep, though, moving over to the east side, 1v3 right now, and the peak of the Omen, he has gotten a hat trick so far, Vim.
Is he gonna go for the ace? He's faking that plant, Daks. Trying to bait out some sort of movement, yeah.
But he's just saying that, okay, I don't need the spike. I need to get those kills. And I'm gonna do it right now. He's gonna get It's gonna be an ace of space, baby, for Dubstep. And he just has one more shot. He turns around just to die. Cool guys don't look at explosions, but you gotta be a guy alive to look at your opponents. Unfortunate there, but Dubstep with a clutch, showing what he can do with the operator.
I mean, that's why Dubstep is stuff of legend at this point in time, my friend. That was incredible to see, but unfortunately it was not enough to close out the round. 11-5 now, still heavily in favor of Bren, but definitely CTNX here sitting at a much more comfortable spot than they were in just a couple rounds ago.
There we go again, though. It's still CTNX looking to put on the show, and I really gotta commend them. Any other team would say, okay, we're done here. Bren, lang malakas talaga. But no, this is the Odin show. This is the Odin show.
That makes you happy, doesn't it, Daks?
I love it. Okay.
Why? Just why?
Okay, so the thing is, the Ren is making one big mistake. They know that Curtsy likes to play the Odin, and they're walking into a bullet storm. And that is you dying to 1,000,000,001 bullets. And also something to note, Hapstu played really smart against the flash there. Able to take the flag, able to get that takedown. And Bren, come on guys, you just need 2 more to get this win. And CTNX is making this look like an absolute clinic here on the defense.
And look at that. Odin, again, working out. It's such an annoying weapon to see, especially when it works. It's just not. I'm not a fan of the gun.
I love the gun. But I'm a bigger fan.
Good night, good sir.
Okay, you know what they call that back in my day? Those are the Dig1 taps that they know and love. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, but like I say, okay.
What is going on? He's blowing my mind. He is a god, my friends.
Not only your mind, but their minds too. And the Odin gonna get taken by Bash there. Can Chin get another one in the board? He has 12 seconds left. He's holding on to the Sheriff. Gets an operator as well. And this is what we were talking about. This is the redemption arc for Ching, because he struggled heavily on the first 2 maps. He's gonna be looking to impress here on the third. Spiked out planted. He got 3 so far with those 1 taps. He is the real Sheriff. He is the Lone Ranger in the eastern side. And he's keeping an eye out. Now he has the operator. He catches Cypher, but no! It's still CTNX able to take 1 for the team, survive with 1 member, and this just means that for CTNX, these rounds are very, very costly, even though they're getting a streak on.
I mean, they are getting a streak, but yeah, it's just too close for comfort for either side every time. But it just goes to show that it's just highlight reels on highlight reels for the side of Bren. And I'd like to just point out the fact that Bren is sort of a special roster, because at any given point in time, any of their players can pop off. Doesn't matter what agent they're playing, or they may have a sort of bad game on one map, but that could be a different story the next map. Any single one of them could be capable of taking that top frag spot on their team, which I think is the sign of a well-rounded team roster.
Yep. Pretty much chubby cheeks and all the like. Make sure that you're pretty balanced there. But Curtsy making it rain some bullets again. And something to note here for CTNX
Stop
is no, he will not stop. But in all honesty, as we hear some ultimates coming, CTNX is coming back because of some better play here from Curtsy as well as Trix. They're now second and third frag respectively, so they're really showing that CTNX is a team that can rely on their members if need be. Double tailwind though up in the air. Can he get the Blade Storm kill? No, it doesn't. And Dispenser does enough damage that the ankle breaker happens. It seems like the Jet forgetting to hold that space bar, and since it is gonna be pigs flying, it's the resurrection there instead from Rex. Hapsu though catching out Borkum. Post-plan situation though, 4v4 right now. Curtsy trying to get the bounce, but there we go again with Dubstep making that operator sing, and he will be able to use it from the shadows for the incel, but it's so difficult here for CTNX to even get the angle. Jesse Bash cleans up house. Up in the air goes Dubstep, and this is Bren Esports on match point with authority.
Finally on match point, and what an impressive show of force right there. Yeah, and very unfortunate for the side of Trix there, just forgetting to hold down that space bar, but no, it happens. It happens.
It happens. It happens to the best of us, on all honesty. And you forget that, you know, the Jet can floats. Because I like the fact that she has it, because those things happen. Because if you do double tailwind and you're like, oh, I'm just going to break my legs, who the hell would do that by this point, right? But this is match point here, then. Dubstep and the rest of the crew looking for a championship, looking for the first one under the Bren banner, and they're looking to keep their streak up on Valorant PH championships alongside the local scene. And Jesse Bash gonna get one. Ching the God is there as well. Ching the God is two, and he has woken up. The beast is here, and Ching is looking to be pretty chimichanga and looking to be pretty spicy in this game.
Absolutely. It might just be a sort of brutal ending to this series. 12-6 now, with a 4-2 man advantage in favor of Bren. So it's going to be Haps and the lone Cypher over there in Garage.
Yeah, I believe that's Allison having that neural theft in order. And on the other side, here for Ching, he's quite low, but his energy is absolutely off the charts. As I said, big commendations here for Ching. You know, he just needs to find his comfort. And that's the whole thing about Bren. First game, they tried to do something that the roster used to do, and you can't force that on a player. Even if you try it out on comp and scrims, it's still different on the tournament. Luckily, though, they reeled it back. They said, okay, we'll go back to things we're used to, we're comfortable with, and Ching is doing an amazing, amazing job. I gotta give him props for the retribution, basically, for the comeback within this match. But Hapstu, this man has been clutch, and that is going to be also the Cypher Allison catching the high ground there, Bim.
Don't have a lot of time left. The clock is ticking. They have to make a play right here.
Drop down though, and that's gonna be Jesse Bash breaking down the Hidden Dragon yet again. Hapsu right now versus 3. He will push on forward. Jesse Bash will go down, but the championship has gotten its victor. It is Dispenser getting that final kill, and Bren Esports with the debut that they need, proving that they are still the kings of this kingdom. Our Blitz Series champion is Bren Esports, and what a way to start off, well, the series and this team.
What a way to start it off, indeed. Just, wow, incredible performance from Bren, and that is what we've come to expect from a team with such a phenomenal pedigree. And I think we got sort of what we signed up for here, Mr. Daks.
The crown has been paid on. The crown on the side of esports, and they are just so very solid, to say the least. Oh my god, what a way to go, Mr. Vim.
Absolutely. And again, that is not a sort of team-sorted scoreboard. It just goes to show that Bren was just dominant throughout the entire match, with the scoreboard heavily in their favor. And yeah, phenomenal performance from both teams so far. I'd just like to commend CTNX again. This was sort of a battle, sort of a narrative between young blood and veterans of the FPS scene, you know?
Yeah, it really feels just that way. And hey, Bren Esports, this is a team to beat. This is a team to remember. And what can you say about, well, the whole story of this game, right, Mr. Bim? Bren Esports, they found the comfort, they figured things out, and they looked impressive.
I mean, we all know that they are all mechanically almost, nigh impossible to beat, right? But of course, coming into this tournament as a new roster, of course, they're going to have some issues here and there when it comes to tactics and strategy, but them being sort of veteran players all around, it's just, it's going to be a quick adjustment. And I believe that after that first map went down, they're like, okay, blah 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 XYZ, and now we have the solution, right?
Indeed. And the solution is an equation you already have the answer for. Go on to something you're comfortable. Save those experiments for another day, another chance, because if you want to keep your crown, if you want to make sure that you are the champions of the local scene, then you better make sure that you are bringing your A game no matter what. And that is really the redemption arc there. For people like Ching, in all honesty, really was a head scratcher there. And if you look at the roster, you look at the previous roster, like, why would they change some really strong players for a performance like that? And he says, I'm gonna silence all the haters. I'm gonna show you guys why I'm here. And with that solo play, ridiculous on Haven, absolutely stellar.
I mean, those one taps, man. Even though he was not able to clutch them around, that was just absolutely incredible. It just took me by surprise, because I, for the life of me, will not be able to pull something like that off. That was just incredible to see. And of course, Dubstep with almost that ace clutch. That's incredible. These two new players coming in here, just proving their mettle and why they got picked up by this org. It's just. Let the results, let the performance speak for themselves here.
Yeah, and the momentum of the 5 stacked roster is keeping on there, guys. Bren Esports is your champion. And, we talk about Bren a lot, but I gotta give props again to our runner-up yet again, CTNX. This team, they've been really proving themselves, always within the cusp of greatness, but they're just a little bit lacking, and it feels like there's that momentum that needs to go in their favor. The winds of momentum need to be behind their belts for them to impress, and when they're kind of put on the spot by pressure, that's where they falter. So they're really strong when they're strong, but then also at the same time, they're really weak in a way when they're weak. So I feel like that's a problem there for CTNX.
Perhaps it's back to the drawing board for CTNX, but proving to everyone why they are one of the top teams right now in the local scene. It's because they were able to take a map against a team like Bren. So that is definitely something to be proud of. Being the underdog in this matchup, of course, everyone is expecting Bren to run away with it, but a lot of us were not expecting for CTNX to be able to take one map away at least from Bren.
Yeah, and like we always say, any single time a team takes a map away from the, whatever they call it now, the Bren right now, 5 Detroit, whatever it used to be, it just feels like that it is a way to springboard your career. We saw it from the likes of Cutie Boy, we saw it from the likes of Retaliate, which is now Chimera, and we're seeing it right now as well. Perhaps for CTNX, this is the start of something new. And as we say, they're only getting better and better. There is so much potential, and that potential pops up out of there, especially from Tricks, especially from Courtesy. It really feels like this is a team that can just find a stable point, and that is what they need to anchor on and do even greater things. So big kudos to CTNX, really making Bren Esports bleed there on Split. It wasn't just a close affair. It was a dominant way to go about things. And really impressive to say the least for CTNX. But unfortunately, there's only one champion, and it is Bren lang Malakas. So what a way to win, what a way to debut, and it is time for us to wrap things up. But before we go though, Mr. Vim, got 2 questions.
Yeah.
What are we giving away to Bren Esports yet again? What did they win here in our first ever Blitz series?
So for the first ever Blitz series, the grand champion here, Bren Esports, will be going home with. I like, I'm sort of this sort of showman host trying to showcase the prize.
Do you have it?
Right?
Do you have it?
I don't have it right now with me yet, but unfortunately, but fortunately for our winners, they are going home with 5 XM1 gaming mice, 5 mouse pads, and 5 mouse bungees from Endgame gear. So of course that's 1 per player, if my math is correct. But another thing, Mr. Daks, is we have our list of giveaway winners.
Oh, yeah. You read my mind. That's my second question, because we still have 3 winners of the bungees and 3 winners also of those mouse pads, courtesy of Endgame Gear and Rotobox PH. So, Mr. Vyminal, take it away. Who are our victors to wrap up this stream?
We got Arvin Gabriel for that mouse bungee. And second mouse bungee winner is Kenneth Hilantang, and the third mouse bungee winner is Jameson Koo. And now we have for the mousepad winner, we have Von Achoy, Nicole Texan, and Ron Guevara. So congratulations to those 6 winners. Again, everyone's happy, whether or not you're a viewer or the grand champion, of course. Everyone's so much stuff, so much swag from Endgame gear.
There's so many things to take away. We had a great run here in the Blitz series, our first ever one, and we're looking to do even more. But at the same time, our viewers going home happy. 10 of those pieces there from Endgame gear going on home. And speaking of pieces, Bren gonna be happy taking that championship. There's a lot of value there on those mice, in all honesty. They're very, very expensive and they're very, very sleek. As we say on those ads, world's fastest gaming mouse. So you already know that these guys are gonna get even better thanks to Endgame gear. Also, Rotobox PH, if you guys are looking for that kind of Endgame gear, then you know who to call on your local side. But again, one last props there to CTNX. Getting that one map win against Bren is already a prize in itself. That has to be one thing that they will be able to pin to the refrigerator. Say, Mom, look at this. This is something that we did. This deserves a gold star. And they can honestly work on this board, work on this game, and look to do even better in bigger tournaments true to their experience against Bren. It's not just a scrim. It really feels like it's all down to the wire. And even though CTNX faltered, it was a time for them to shine. And they proved themselves in front of the audience as well. But save it with Vim, there is only one strong team right now proven by the Blitz series. And it is Bren lang malakas.
Absolutely. Pero alam mo, Dax, like, of course, napakasarap pag inuman after winning a tournament. Sarap uminom eh. Pero when you're in the shoes of like CTNX, was able to take a map away from Bren. Parang if I were them, parang tara, inom pa rin tayo. Inom pa rin tayo kasi astig yun eh. Diba? Parang, I think both of them are sort of winners here.
I think makikisama ka na sa nila eh. You're like, hey, wait for me guys. Wait for me, I'm coming soon.
Inom pa rin tayo.
You already know what's going to be happening there. But it has been a great time, a great session. And in all honesty, even though we had those prod issues, we thank you guys for tuning on in and checking out the Blitz series. Bren and their debut looking oh so strong. CTNX looking oh so strong as well. And our semifinals looking to prove a little bit on both sides. So shout outs as well to our 2 semifinals there. Samurais as well as On the Water. Big things might be coming your way at the same time. It's been a great run. It's been a Blitz and a half speed lang, guys. And we are going to be calling it a night. Thank you guys for tuning on in to Valorant PH's first ever Blitz series, the Endgame Gear Tournament, brought to you by Endgame Gear and Rotobox Philippines. I've been Daks.
And I've been Vyminal.
And we'll be calling it a night. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.